the government took her daughter because she wanted to transition. She took her from her mom. So let's get into this to see how this goes. This Bible verse also that could tie everything together. Let's get right into it.
This mother, Abigail Martinez, lost her daughter, Yaeli, and she's going to tell you what happened. This is also a situation in California. She has an accent, so it's probably better to read what she says in her testimony.
My name is Abigail Martinez. It has been 3 years and 164 days since I lost my daughter, Yaeli. I miss her every single day. Let me tell you how she died. My daughter was murdered by a gender ideology. CPS took my daughter when she was 16 years old. It was held by her public school counselor and LGBTQ group rights and another trans-identified girl. My daughter was taken from her loving home because the state of California claimed I was abusive for not affirming her trans identity. I lost my...
That's crazy. So they said she was abusive for just not affirming her gender identity. Crazy.
Daughter over a name and a pronouns. Even after I promised to call her a male name, it wasn't enough. My daughter was not a boy trapped in a girl's body. She had mental health issues. Against my consent, my daughter was given testosterone.
Wow, so they gave her testosterone and the parent didn't even know. Guys, this girl's 16. She can't decide whether or not to do something. Like, you're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to smoke, you're not allowed to do any of that. So you're not allowed to get a tattoo until you're 18. Why would they allow you to do something against your parents' will, even though, yeah, you're not 18? That's a life-altering thing that you could never change.
Instead of therapy, the LGBTQ group used her to raise money for them. Look at the poor reject trans boy, they said. Why are there so many transgender in foster care? Because this state take them from their families, tell them to run, then steal them. Parents are given one option to treat their distressed child, affirm, drug, and remove their healthy body part, or else lose your child. The abuse claim against me was finally dropped, but it was too late. The damage was done.
Wow.
By then, my daughter was in a horrible mental and physical pain. My daughter knelt down in front of a train. She was murdered by gender ideology.
Wow. Her daughter knelt down in front of a train? Wow. That's sad.
I beg you, stop pushing gender ideology. I don't want any parent to feel what I feel every day. Affirmation is not good for the health, safety, and welfare of any child.
Wow. That is a super sad story. And yeah, people who want to transition, especially if you're under the age of 18 and the government's forcing you, the schools, the public people think this is the best for you. You could do this. This is definitely for you. They use you and then leave you out to dry, and it leaves you even more with mental problems, and it's sad. It's super difficult to completely understand.
So the state of California took this child, put her in a halfway house, began to transition her, assuming her mother was abusing her because she didn't agree with gender affirming care. So the state of California became her parent. And from that point, she spiraled out of control to the point that she knelt before an oncoming train.
Wow.
And you know who champions this? Joe Biden came out on so-called Trans Visibility Day, March 31st. It was either 2022 or 2023, and basically said that his administration would consider taking children from their parents who didn't agree with gender affirming care, which is a euphemism for saying, we're going to put your kid on hormone blockers, cross-sex hormones, and maybe even give that kid surgery against your will.
Wow, that's super crazy, super sad. And yeah, at the end of the day, you're still a kid, and if your parent, should be up to the parents. It's crazy that a parent would want anyone to have gender affirming transition stuff anyway. But
The so-called Equality Act that the Democrats have been trying to pass forever. If Kamala Harris wins and there's a Democrat House and Senate, the Equality Act will basically nationalize this. And you at work, you're going to have to go along, or you could lose your job, you could be fined, who knows, maybe even imprisoned.
that's crazy.
Because that's what the so-called Equality Act will do. You know, good laws are shields. You know what a shield is? A shield is the First Amendment. The shield says the government can't tell you that you can't say something. You have the right to free speech. Government can't prohibit your religious expression or your ability to associate. Can't tell the press what to do, although lately it's been telling the press what to do by censoring people they don't like. That's what a shield does. It shields you from the government so you can practice the rights that you have. But a law that is a sword is the Equality Act. The Equality Act would hurt you if you tried to exercise those religious rights that you have, or free speech rights that you have, or the right that you have, the parental right that you have to bring up your child without cross-sex hormones or surgery. You see the difference between a good law and a bad law? A good law is a shield, a bad law is a sword, where the government, the power of government, would usurp the rights you already have and in some way punish you and your child for not agreeing with their radical gender ideology.
Yeah, so we live in a crazy time. We live in a crazy world. So we need to pray for our country. We need to pray for our government so that God will be in the situation and that we will bring glory to God and not do things against God's will. So now I have a Bible verse that will tie everything together. 2 Timothy 3:2 says, "For people will love themselves and their money. They will be boastful and proud, scoffing at God, disobedient to their parents and ungrateful. They will consider nothing sacred." So it seems like right now, nothing is sacred. Nothing is teenagers. Still listen to your parents. Obey them, respect them, love them because they love you so much. Yeah, guys, we live in a crazy time. Pray for our country. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to decide to live for Jesus for the first time, I encourage you to do that today. Click the link in the description below. It will walk you right through that. And please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I know we can do it with your help. So thank you for all your love and support. It means the world. And have an amazing weekend. Peace.